there, I'm Colleen with Branches and Blossoms Travel, where we specialize in helping families and friends create unforgettable travel experiences. Today we're going to talk about a travel mistake that was made and what we can learn to prevent the same mistake from happening to you. So this took place back in February of 2020. It was slightly before the world shut down and Europe in particular closed due to the COVID-19 lockdowns. We were traveling as a family to Germany, and we are very good. Our family of 4, we have 2 children and 2 adults, and we were checking in early for our flight online, and for some reason the airline was not allowing us to check in our children, and we thought that this must be because our children are minors and we must have to show them in person when we're checking them in. So the next day we make our way down to the airport, and the lovely people at the British Airways counter informed us that the reason we cannot check our children in is because their passports would expire too soon compared to when we were returning from our trip. And this was kind of a surprise to us because we had 3 months left on these particular passports. But what got us is that from the date of our return to when the passports expired, it was 89 days, and they have to be at least 90 days for Germany. Now, 90 days may seem like a long period of time, but there are other countries that require 6 months, so that would be twice as long. And they won't let you into the country unless your passport has that nice long window of validity while you're traveling. They do that to allow you to be in the country without an expired passport in case you decide to stay longer. So we were very fortunate that British Airways told us, we will book you on tomorrow's flight, and that means you need to go get these passports renewed today. And we are fortunate that we live in a city that has expedited passport agencies, so we had to get home, get all the proper paperwork, get the passport photos taken, and then make it to an appointment at this passport agencies. And in order to do that, we had to take an Uber back up to our home, get those photos, get back into the city. It was a little stressful, and I don't recommend going that route. This particular expedited passport agency, you had to be traveling within the next 6 weeks in order to utilize their services. So when we came in there we had to show that our ticket was for the next day so that we could take advantage of their services. It did delay our trip by 1 day, and so we saw less of Munich than we had hoped. We were also meeting very good friends there, so we missed a day with them as well. It was not a fun way to start the vacation. So my recommendation is that you check your expiration date on your passport and try to plan for your passport to be valid for 6 months after your date of return, because that date of return is what they're going to base the validity of your passport on. It will allow you to travel with much more ease if you get a long tail on the end of your passport and get a new one at about 6 months out. So other pieces of tidbits that you may be interested in when we're talking about passports: children 16 and under cannot renew a passport via mail, while most adults are able to do it that way. You actually have to choose a new passport appointment and go down to the passport renewal agency in order to get that passport renewed. You need everyone who is listed as guardian or adoptive parents or birth parents on any sort of certificates for those children when you present your paperwork. Those adults all have to be present. So if you have a child who was adopted and your name and a partner's name is listed on that adopted paperwork, both of you have to attend that meeting with the passport agency in order to renew the passport. So gather that information for yourself. Another little tidbit which took me a little bit by surprise, I took my Nexus Pass, which is a real ID. I had to meet with the Canadian border agency. I had to meet with the American border agency in order to have this known traveler ID. And I took it thinking it was a more appropriate form of ID than my driver's license, and I was wrong. The person who was collecting my paperwork actually would have preferred me to have my driver's license, not my Nexus Pass, and definitely preferred that to that driver's license is what they used for my husband as well. So maybe to become extra prepared, take multiple forms of ID for yourself as well. And that is all that I have to tell you about passports today. I hope that that helps you avoid the mistake that our family made. If this video resonated with you, give me a like, and if you're interested in any more travel tips or tricks, be sure to subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. If you're wanting to schedule a consultation for travel planning, there is a link to my website as well as a link to get scheduled in the show notes. We also have a Facebook group that gives more travel tips and advice and community as well. So I hope to see you on the next one.